Brianna was, during this period of time, she was on the phone with Northeast Kingdom Mental Health Services. She had made them aware that she was trying to get home because she had previously been taken off from a Greyhound bus and ended up in Daytona Beach. There was a missing persons report out on her. Nobody knows for sure how she got there. She said all she remembers is a guy with a badge took her off the bus and put her on a plane, and she thought that she was supposed to be in Daytona. She didn't know that she was missing. But what they did was they set up for her to go away and not come back to the state of Vermont. Now, in that meantime, she was also in the hospital.
The police did that?
Yes, ma'am. This is all in.
And why did they do that?
Because Brianna and I are plaintiffs in a case against the state of Vermont due to the fact that they frivolously took my kids from me 15 years ago, and due to the over-medicating and malpractice through Northeast Kingdom Human Services, we made them aware back in the beginning of 21 that we had filed and had intent to file a lawsuit against them for malpractice. When we did that, they started telling Brianna that if she didn't take medications, they were going to take her baby from her for depression. Brianna has been diagnosed in her younger years with ADHD, but once she moved to Vermont, it has been founded that a Border Patrol agent abused my daughter when she was 14 years old. Okay? It's in paperwork with DCF. He was the Border Patrol agent. He was the supervisor of. He sexually abused Brianna. So what's been going on here, they have been trying to get rid of my daughter. She was found in the missing persons report. Now, when she got lured back up here, and I tell you lured, I mean lured, because Northeast Kingdom Mental Health Services out of Derby, Vermont, knows very well that Brianna was in a real bad medical condition and had been in and out of the hospital due to the fact that the Vermont State Police are the ones that contacted me to tell me that I had to go make medical conditions on my daughter, that she was found in a bad situation. So knowing that they were very full aware of the situation, they told Brianna that they wanted her to go back to Vermont on a bus from Florida. 47-hour trip with 7 layovers and all the delays over a holiday weekend being January 1st. Well, I said there was no way that was going to happen. She was so deathly ill that she's got vomit and she's got diarrhea at the time, and it was horrible. She could not hold anything down, and I was trying to nurture her back to the point where she'd be able to travel home, because it's very important for her to be home. They took her baby after she had been abused by the baby's father. They took the baby from her in state custody, and this has been an ongoing situation since May. So now that Brianna's back in the state of Vermont, Department of Human Services, who oversees Northeast Kingdom Mental Health Services, they told her that they were going to put her in a motel or something, get her into housing, because she lost her housing and everything during the time that they did all this to her. So, noting that she's been over-medicated, now she's got an allergic reaction to the Haldol that they shot her up with in that hospital, unjustifiably, just a few weeks ago. Then she went because she was so scared being put in the roadway in by 211. She called me in the middle of the night, Friday night, early Saturday morning. Mama, I'm so scared, I feel like I'm going to die. I said, Bree, I talked to her for a little bit. She told me she couldn't find her ID. And so I told her to call the office. She called the office. She was doing okay. The next thing I knew, the phone went dead and I didn't hear from her again. I filed a well-being check. They found her that she had signed herself in to the psych ward in Rutland, who had previously shot her up with bad doses of ketamine for 60 days on an involuntary hold after they took her son from her, after she had been physically abused. So noting all this, Brianna needs some medical attention. She's not psychotic. She's not all these diagnoses. They've already revealed the fact that she's not all these different crazy diagnoses that they gave her. But the fact is, they're trying to shut her up. And by shutting her up, they're trying to drug her and ultimately trying to kill her. That's without a doubt. Because how many times does her heartbeat have to drop down and nobody do anything about it, and they still aren't doing anything to help her? Northeast Kingdom Services did not do anything. Mental Health Services did nothing that they said they were going to do when that girl got on the bus and headed back to Vermont. So I hold them totally responsible. And for the fact that she is so medically ill right now, She needs some medical attention. She doesn't need all these psychotic drugs. She needs her Crohn's checked. She's got a heart issue. She's got a filter. The last I knew, it's been years that filter's been changed, and now she's 29 years old for blood clots. There's a whole lot going on with her that people are overlooking.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, and all they're doing is giving her psychotic medications. Now it's been 8 months since she's been able to see her little boy because they've done this to her, and this isn't anything that she planned. Every single detective and cop that is involved in the case for the human and sex trafficking case, not one of them have done their job. She should have had an advocate. She shouldn't have been out on the streets. She shouldn't have no place to go right now. She shouldn't be without her son. And her perpetrator, her abuser, being her ex-boyfriend, he should have already been in jail because it was all reported to the police. And instead of putting him in jail for abusing her in her own apartment, they took her son away from her into protective custody and then charged her with impeding and then put her on a 60-day involuntary hold at Rutland Regional. So, I mean, we really need some help for her, and she's asked me.
Yeah.
She's asked me to reach out and talk and be her voice for her because she told me this morning, she said, Mom, I just don't have the fight in me. Well, it shouldn't be a fight. She should be healing right now. This shouldn't even be happening. This should have never happened.
Yeah. So Kim, so she's in the emergency department at UVM right now, is that right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, she is. She's been there since yesterday, late afternoon, I believe. This is the strangest thing about it. Now, they put her on
How did she get there?
RCT bus, and this is the strange part about it. For 60 days, they had her.
Did she go voluntarily, or did somebody bring her?
They told her to get on the RCT bus and go to Burlington to Economic Services from the Rutland Regional Medical Center to tell them that she was scared and didn't want to be in that hotel. So she did. That's what she did. She did what she was told to do. They told her to go to Burlington, so she did. And that's what ended up happening. I mean, this is how confused she is from the medications that they've given her. When they tell her to do something, she jumps and she does it. She doesn't know. Now she's in the hospital again.
I just want to understand. So yesterday she was at Rutland Regional.
Yep, they told her that
she didn't feel safe there, so she got on a bus and she came to Burlington and went to the emergency room. Is that right?
She had been Friday night, 211 put her in the roadway in. She didn't feel safe there. She called me in the middle of the night. Early Saturday morning was the last time I heard from her. I put in for a missing persons well-being check. They found that she had signed herself in, and I believe for 72 hours to the medical ward because she's not feeling safe. She didn't feel safe, so she went. Yep. So she signed herself in, and they kicked her out yesterday and told her that she could only stay there for a certain amount of time. So they made her leave and told her to get on the RCT bus and go to Burlington to the Economic Service Building and tell them there that she didn't feel safe at the roadway inn. And that's what she did. And that's what she relayed to me was, Mom, they told me, I said, how'd you end up there? She said, RCT bus, because that's where they told her to go from the Rutland Hospital to Economic Services in Burlington. Now, why would you tell somebody in the situation that she's in and as medically ill as she is to get on a bus and go from Rutland to Burlington like that? Knowing that she doesn't have any
out. When she got to Economic Services, what happened?
I don't believe anything happened. I believe they were closed by the time RCT got her there, and that's why she's at the hospital. And
so they were closed, and so then RCT brought her to the hospital. Is that right?
I believe so. I'm not 100% on that. All I know is that she ended up, because I was trying to find out myself. Why are you there? And she said, Mama, I'm scared. I don't know what else to do, and I'm sick. I can't fight my sick. And I told her it shouldn't be a fight.
Sounds like she's got a lot going on. So, Kim, what are you hoping that I can do to help with her right now? I'm happy to do whatever I can.
I would like to see that her medical get 100% evaluated because she has not had a complete evaluation now. I can tell you when she was returned to me from the hospital after being found in the sex trafficking, she had multiple burns all over her body. She has knife scar marks all over her body. She revealed who the abuser was. She keeps on telling me certain things. She revealed the abuser. We asked for protection, and we need housing because at this time, excuse me, when I was down there trying to retrieve her, because of all this situation, there was a frivolous act held against us, and they burned my home down. So we're both out on the streets. And so all I had was my vehicle, and I was trying to keep her safe and warm all the way up here with, she had a place to go. I didn't. So we thought that she had a place to go because that's what Northeast Kingdom Mental Health Services told her. And I was on the other phone when they told her that. So I know what they told her. So she had full intent thinking that she was going to be back up here and they were going to put her in a place and get her baby back to her because they should have never taken him from her. And that's not anything of what they did. They totally ignored her. I was on the phone call with her when she called Chris Mitchell, who is the overseer of Northeast Kingdom Mental Health Services, who is a conflict of interest anyways because he used to counsel the abuser. And so with that being said, he said he put her through to a girl that she has normally talked with. That's the one that wanted to set her up with a bus ticket to go nowhere. And knowing that she wasn't going to be in the office, he was the one that answered the phone. He should have taken initiative and made sure that Brianna was going to be safe and in a warm place and get her child back.
Right.
Knowing that Desiree wasn't going to be in to answer Brianna's call or get her voicemail that day because they said that they were out due to weather. So he was the one answering phones. He's the supervisor. He did not reach out to help Brianna. He passed it off onto an underdog.
Emergency department and make sure that that medical evaluation is happening, and then also reach out to case management in the emergency department and make sure that they connect with her to get these basic needs met, for when she leaves, to figure out housing and that sort of thing. Does that sound like a good plan?
Please do, because like I said, her heart needs to be checked. She needs to have her heart checked. She needs that filter checked. She needs her Crohn's checked. She needs everything checked and evaluated. Why was she knifed? Why was she so burned up? Internal scars. She's had a miscarriage back in April that I know for sure. And I'm believing that she may have been pregnant again in the past recent months because she made notation before. She wasn't even able to verbally speak when she got out of the hospital and returned to me from Orlando Regional Medical Center. And I'm assuming from what she was telling me through signing was the fact that she had another miscarriage and it wasn't by choice or a good situation. So she really needs medical care. She needs to be evaluated.
Sure. Okay.
And
right,
she does not,
yeah,
if you can get a case manager that's not a male, please. She's not going to tell her experiences to a male. And this is what the cops have been doing to her every time we tell them, look, send a case manager that's a female. She'll talk to a female. She's not going to talk to a male. She's been abused by them. It makes no sense to try to send somebody that's going to cause her PTSD, and it's almost like they plan on that. They don't want her to talk, obviously.
Yeah.
Or she would have already been, she wouldn't even be in a hospital right now. She should be proceeding with her life. If the case had been taken care of in Florida, if the state hadn't done this to her in the beginning, we wouldn't be talking about it today. But her medical...
Well, let me reach out.
Yeah, please don't...
I'm so glad that you reached out to let me know about this. I will connect with her team in the emergency department, and we'll try to get her the help that she needs.
And please make sure she does not get any more of those psychotropical medications. Like I said, they shot her up on December 26th, gave her a 30-day dose of Haldol, and she was so profusely sick I had to rush her to the hospital. And then, like I said, Mental Health Services, knowing this whole situation, wanted her to travel. The same day I got her out of the hospital, wanted her to travel on a bus that following morning and go back to Vermont from Florida on a 47-hour trip during the holiday with nothing. So they're the abusers, and I do not want her in the hands of Northeast Mental Health Services. In fact, I'm going to be probably filing to get emergency guidance over her. Not, I don't want to control my daughter, but she needs help because they keep on doing this to her, and she gets so medically ill that she can't handle all of what they're doing to her.
Yeah.
But right now, the most important is, like I said, and and I thank you very much, her medical and being able to get her into safe housing. I've spoken with her before you called me back, and she's wanting to come over here. She's in good spirits, but we need to find her a way to get here because I'm in Maine. I'm 4 hours away. If I can even get her halfway to me, I can get the other half. But I'm in the same situation because, like I said, they burned my home down to make sure that Bree and I didn't have a place to go. And they're playing tug of war with her, and all I want is my daughter safe, warm, and in my arms, home where I can take care of her and get her medically taken care of and back to health so that she can have a productive life with her son.
Yeah.
That's another thing. She doesn't even know where her son is staying. They won't talk to her about anything. They're violating her all the way around. It's no wonder the girl feels the way that she does emotionally.
Yeah.
I mean, knowing that you're cold and hungry, no place to go, nobody to talk to. She doesn't like being by herself anyways, knowing that nobody's helping her, like they said, with her baby. And where's her baby? Her baby's birthday is Saturday. He's going to be 2 years old. Of course she's going to feel emotional like that. But there's the answer is not to be putting her on psych meds and throwing her in the psych ward, because that's not going to help and that's not going to heal.
Yeah.
So if anything like that comes up of
Let's see what we
mention,
can do here.
yes, please. If anything like that even comes up of mention, just let them know. Absolutely not. I will not agree to any of that. She's been through so much. That's not helping her. She needs healing.
Yeah. Well, let me reach out to the team and share all of this information.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I greatly appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Stay blessed.
You're welcome. Tim.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. Bye-bye. And there, the state of Vermont, you've been exposed because you did this to my daughter.